guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with two people today.
Hi, I'm Tony. I am Tamar's husband.
And I
this
think
is...
Harvey's already told you his name.
He's introducing himself, yeah.
In the background. Today I wanted to share Harvey's birth. We didn't really catch much footage because it was an intense birth and Tony was he was freaking out a bit. So
I was very squeamish.
the camera, he didn't even think about the camera when I was in labour. So we will do our best to try and tell you
The story.
Yeah. It was your birthday. I think I wanted to surprise him. I didn't know I was pregnant, but I wanted to do a pregnancy test just in case I was pregnant and I could surprise him on his birthday. And it was an intense time, very busy for us because we just moved into our new flat, so we were like still unpacking. It was just like past Christmas time, and then his 30th birthday was coming up. It was quite a big birthday, so
Which is on January 7th, by the way, in case anyone wants to donate.
we were trying to plan a party for him, and he ended up having his party, I think, the day before on a Saturday, and on the Friday. His actual birthday was the Saturday, so we had a free day. We were like, hey, what are we gonna do? Let's go out. We wanted to go originally to Reading, but we ended up going to Slough because
Should I tell this part?
you can if you want to.
So basically, on my birthday, the day before, I had a car crash.
Yeah.
A really crazy incident in central London involving a female driver who had parked somewhere very silly, and in an attempt to get round her, our cars ended up colliding. And it just, nobody wants to be responsible for hitting somebody, but it later turned out apparently this lady didn't really have the appropriate insurance or didn't really report the case because we called the police, and she said she was calling the police, and it just became a mess. But I don't think she had
And she wouldn't give you her details.
And she wouldn't give us her details, so I don't think she had insurance,
Us,
which was very strange to me. So the next day, I parked my car in my parking place in Windsor. And if you ever know how Windsor works, in town we have the changing of the guards, which is when the soldiers march up and down town on behalf of the Queen every day to change the guards at Windsor Castle. And so we live right on the high street, right next to Windsor Castle.
At the time.
And I parked my car. Excuse me. Who's telling the story? So I parked my car in my parking bay on Park Street, which is by where the guards kind of go by to change their guard. But it's my residential parking bay. Then I went to a meeting with Dr. Sharon.
We all did.
We all did. And then we came out of the meeting to go out. Mm-hmm. Was that right?
Yeah, your brother was going home. But he was just walking past where the car was parked.
Okay, so we walked past where the car is parked in my residential parking bay.
I have to put your brother in there because your brother was the one that pointed it out.
Important point. Sorry, I apologise.
It was important.
What colour was the sky that day?
It wasn't too blue because it's January and it's winter time, so it's probably about grey, I would say.
What was I wearing?
Pink shirt, blue trousers.
Wow, she remembers everything. Anyway, so here I was in this place looking for my car, and lo and behold, I looked at Tamer and I said,
no, see, your brother said, where's your car? And you were laughing like, oh, I parked it down there. And then your brother was like, are you sure? So we kept talking and he was like, yeah, I parked it there. And then we walked to the space where you parked it, and you was like, okay, let's walk back. Maybe we missed it. We walked back, couldn't find it again. So we walked back up to find it again, and we was like, your car's gone.
my car's gone. I was like, where's my car? And it's funny because you lose your keys, right? You lose your car keys. You don't lose your car. But I was like, I've lost my car. I can't find my car. So called the police to report my car stolen on my birthday after the birthday eve car crash or incident. And lo and behold, it turned out that the police had somehow had my car.
But
they stole my car, but not the story for today.
So
they returned it,
police
but that's the spoiler alert.
Stole it. So we end up getting on a train to Slough. And I had told Tony before what I was planning to do. I was planning to take a pregnancy test and surprise him if I was pregnant. And I really didn't know at all. I was just going to do it, like one of those whimsical things that you just go, I'm going to do it. And so we got on the train to Slough. Right outside Slough station, there's a big Tesco, 24-hour
And
Tesco.
the reason we went to Slough because my car was stolen by the police. So that's the whole reason we're sharing that story, which my wife said was irrelevant or less relevant than what clothes I was wearing or what colour the sky was.
I didn't say it was irrelevant. I said you were about to go into the deeps of it and we don't need to. So yeah, outside is a Tesco. He says, why don't you buy the pregnancy test now before we go to the cinema? So I said, yeah, let's go and do that. We went and bought the tests and we were going to actually do them at home. But as we got into the cinema, we bought our tickets, went upstairs. You went to queue for the food and the popcorn, and there was a toilet there. So he was like, hey, why don't you go and do a pregnancy test in the toilet? And we were both so excited and intrigued to know what the test said. I said, yeah, let's do a test in the cinema toilet.
Bruh, he's drool everywhere.
I'm cute. Look what you did to me.
That's why you're looking at mommy. Fist bump.
So, we decided to do a pregnancy test in the cinema toilet. And I don't know why, when I came out, Tommy had not bought what we were meant to eat, but he hadn't. He was sitting down on a little bench.
Because I'm nervous. Because I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, she's going to do the pregnancy test and it's my birthday. My car's just been crashed into and then it's been stolen by the police. What if she's not pregnant to make this birthday any more incredible than the fact that we're celebrating it in Slough?
Slough Cinema, which is not a pretty place. And also earlier on in the year, before we had moved to Windsor, I think I won't go into too much information, but my female system was just messed up. I wasn't taking my pills properly and it was just not good, basically. And I had taken maybe 2 or 3 before.
2 or 3 what?
Pregnancy tests.
Pregnancy tests, yeah.
But yeah, all of those were negative, so it kind of discouraged me and him. Even though we weren't planning, it was still discouraging to get a negative. So I think he was praying for me when I went into the toilet, saying, Lord, don't let her be discouraged with this and not.
But at the same time, I was thinking, gosh, the car just got hit, then it got stolen by the police, and I was celebrating my birthday in Slough, and now my 30th birthday in Slough, and then my wife is about to come out and probably tell me false alarm again. We're not pregnant.
So anyway, I take the test, it shows up positive, and I was so excited but so nervous at the same time that I just wanted to get out of that bathroom. And my face I have a pretty serious face, so I don't ever show too much emotion.
Yeah.
And so I walked out of the bathroom normally, and he looked at me as if to say, oh no, you're not pregnant. And he just put his arm around me like he was going to give me a hug to console me, and I just was like, babe, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, don't lie to me, because of all the negatives we had in the past. And I was like, do you want me to take it out of my bag right here, right now, and show you? And he didn't even say anything. He just started crying.
I wasn't crying. My eyes were sweating.
He just started crying, and I don't cry. I only cry if I'm sad. I can't cry when I'm happy.
No, you cry when you laugh.
I cry when I laugh.
Which is inappropriate.
But I cry when I'm sad, and I'm happy when I'm happy. So I couldn't really cry at this moment because it wasn't a sad moment for me. It was happy. Mm-hmm. And so these kids now were at the cinema, and they just looked at Tommy like, what the hell is going on?
6'2" black guy crying his eyes out.
And so he tried to face the wall, but it looked even more awkward. Yeah. So we were literally like, what do we do now?
So tickets in our hands, we said, you know what? Let's just go home. Mm-hmm. I can't even focus on the movie. It turned out it was a rubbish movie anyway. But I was like, I can't even focus on the movie. Let's go home. So we returned our tickets and we took our
The guy was like, what
home.
happened? Why don't you want to watch a movie? And we were like,
long story. We didn't even explain it, but
Honestly.
I could have, because I was like excited. She could have peeled me off the ceiling. But we went home, and I just couldn't wipe the smile off my face. We told my twin brother and his wife straight away, but we waited to tell everybody else because
we told your mum then, evening as well, I think.
Did we?
I think so. You was excited.
Maybe, but no. We surprised them or something.
No, we didn't.
Did we not go to their house?
No, that was your brother.
Oh, that was my brother. Wow.
The day that I went into labour was a Thursday evening, and where did we just come back from? I don't know, but it was quite. I mean, Tommy's auntie had just passed, and we were meant to be going to her funeral, and we really wanted to go, but I don't know what made Tommy say, like, maybe it's better if we stay home.
Because you were, I think it was because
I was overdue.
She was overdue, and it looked like it was getting to that time, even though we had many false alarms.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so we are here in the house, new house by the way, welcome. And Tamar is having contractions. I know she doesn't look like it, but she is in a little bit of discomfort. So the baby could be coming. We don't know if it's a false alarm, but I will keep you posted. I promise you. Look at that grumpy baby in the back there. Here she is. Wave, baby, so they can see. Wave, baby. So we will keep you posted.
I kind of want it to be it, but
I hope it is. I really do. I can't wait to see this kid. If it is, great. We'll let you guys know. Bye.
We could have gone, but we just stayed home. And good thing we did, because just as his family were coming back from the funeral, that's when my contractions started.
Hey guys, just an update. Tamar is in labour. She's experiencing labour pains right now. She's just talking to the midwife. Let's come in here.
Minutes, maybe 2. I don't think it's 4.
Okay, so you still about 2 every 10 minutes, about 1 every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Would that be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. And how long are they lasting for?
I think they're lasting over a minute now. I haven't been timing them. I've just been trying to sleep. Jamie had called his dad straight away, like, I think Tamar's in labour, and they started at 7:30 in the evening, and I knew it was labour because before, when I had all those false alarms, everyone was telling me you'll know when you're in labour, and that used to annoy me so much because I was like, how do you know? And they were like, you'll just know. They couldn't describe it, but they were like, you'll just know. And I can definitely say Braxton Hicks didn't have anything on these contractions. I mean, I felt like I was literally dying, and because before with the false alarms, they told you what to do if you were in pain, like take some paracetamol, get in a hot bath. If the pain kind of subsides, then you're not in labour. So I tried to do all of those things. Lo and behold, these contractions weren't going away; they were getting worse.
So Tamar, in this moment of pain, do you have a message for Harvey right now?
I'm just excited to see you. That's all. I didn't know what it takes.
Just let him know for when he's older how much pain you've had to go through just to bring him into this world.
I'm not looking forward to it, but they say that you forget about it. Once the baby's here, you forget about it.
Baby, you're writing a message to Harvey, not a medical report.
Yeah, so I'm going to forget about it when you're here because you're just going to be so cute and kissable and lovable.
Anyway, Harvey, that's your mum. Wow. God bless you. See you in a bit.
I mean, by worse I meant the intensity and the pain. They weren't getting frequent, were they? Because we kept calling and they were like, how far apart are these contractions? No. And we were trying to time them, but I was all over the place screaming. Tommy couldn't really time them while I was screaming because I was like, run my back, run my back, run my back.
Yeah,
and
it was hardcore. And when you're a guy watching your wife go through that much pain, because of partially something you did to her, you're helpless. You just sit there and you next to praying.
Like, he tried to get me food,
everything
drinks.
she says.
Well, you ran to the shop, got me paracetamol,
got
me Mountain Dew, sweets, ice cream,
Haribo's, the full pregnancy kit. And we went to the hospital. The hospital sent us back. I was like, but she's like in really big pain.
Yeah, this was at like 2 in the morning that we ended up going, because my contractions started at 7:30, and then till 7:30 and 2 we were at home just trying to labour at home, and I was in so much pain. And Tommy had called his dad, who is a GP, but he was a gynecologist. Yeah. So he is the best in Essex. And we called him, and he was just like, go to the hospital. If she's in that much pain, just go. We drove there, and I was like only 1 centimetre. I think, what did I say? My cervix had fully thinned, but I was only 1 centimetre. I think that's what they said. And I was just so stressed out, because I was like, what do you mean? From 7:30 to 2 o'clock, I'm still only 1 centimetre. And I had been 1 centimetre days before. And I think before my contraction started, actually a day before, I actually had a sweep, and people were like, sweeps don't work. I had a sweep and nothing happened, but the day after I kind of went into labour, so it must have worked for me. Went to the hospital, 2 o'clock, they did a sweep. Come back. They were like, just labour at home, it's going to be more comfortable at home, try and sleep. I was like, I can't sleep. So I was just lying down. Tommy was trying to rub my back in bed, but he kept falling asleep. And I kept punching him to wake him up, literally, because I would just hear him snoring. And I was on the floor, on the bed, in the shower, in the bath, like I was everywhere, and nothing was helping. And Tommy just kept saying, eat something, because I was like popping paracetamol like they were sweets. And Tommy was like, you can't keep taking paracetamol if you're not eating. And I was like, I don't care, I don't feel like eating, I just want this pain to go.
Fast forward to the hospital. So
we wake up.
Finally,
well, you wake up at 10. I didn't
10,
wake up because I
take
didn't
her,
sleep.
drive her to the hospital, and
By
they
the time
move us into the birthing room.
Yeah, I was 4 centimeters. They're like, great, you can go in. You've done well. Like that was not even the beginning. So we go to the birthing center. We call my mum, call his parents. Everyone starts making their way.
Is that helping? Good. Get high the legal way.
I'm going to the kitchen, yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you where it is.
You guys eat?
No. The Lord wants to put me on that fire. Alright.
So this is your grandma. This is your grandpa. Any message for the baby?
Hurry up. It's got to be today.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
got to be today.
It's taking too long. Any words? Personal. Okay. I'm gonna get you high, so.
She said that. He said she could feel his head with her. Right, does that mean that
Everyone. Like my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, Dr. Sharon, Greg, the twins, my sister's husband, Tamar's parents, everyone's there. So we're all like in the birthing room. No, we're not all in the birthing room. Me and Tamar's mom.
But they actually arrived when I got moved to the room.
Me and Tamar's mom were all in the birthing room.
Hey! What's
Okay.
wrong?
Okay to each other.
What's wrong?
So me and Tamar's mum are in the birthing room. Tamar's doing her thing. She's like in pain, lying on the front, lying on the back, hops into the hot tub as well.
But it was a really nice. I mean, they got me
beautiful,
Lucozade Sport biscuits. I had a little beanbag to sit on. You can't miss out those important
These are
things.
important, sure.
And Tony was being so helpful. He was like, do you want to change? Do you want to do this? He helped me go to the toilet, and he would never do that.
Yeah, I have really bad gag reflexes. Like, anything can trigger it. So here we are, getting ready to have one of the things that's going to make my reflexes trip out. And then they put her in the hot tub just to calm her down.
Yeah,
and
the
she
bath.
throws up in the bath. And everything in me was rising. Like, but you know when love of wife has to take over and you have to kind of swallow what's getting ready to come out. But I was like, But I was just like, oh, baby, okay. Hey. And there's like all these floaters in the bathtub. And she's high, so she barely even notices what's going on. She's like,
Because I knew I'd throw up.
So
I was like, I'm going to throw up.
So the nurse was like,
no
do you want me to
fast
take
enough.
you out now, love? The midwife. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, probably a good idea.
So I get out, dry off, get changed again, and then contractions are still not frequent enough. So the reason why I wasn't dilating fast enough is because my contractions weren't frequent enough. They were every 5 minutes, and they wanted me to have 4 in 10 minutes, so like every 2 minutes. But they weren't getting frequent, they were just getting more painful.
So that's been a bit emotional for me. I don't like seeing my wife in pain, so I was trying not to show my tears, but it's hard when she's screaming and there's nothing I can do but watch. But we're almost there. Harvey, come quick. See you soon.
So the lady was like, do you want to go back in the pool? I went back in the pool.
So how you doing, babe? Huh?
I might keep my eyes closed.
Okay. How you feeling?
Well, she just drank my water, so I think the contractions are definitely coming out stronger.
She broke your waters. And you're doing some gas and air, so you're a little bit tipsy, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. She said there wasn't a lot of water left, which is surprising because I didn't think my waters had gone, although every time I found my underwear wet, I thought it was just me sweating. But this pool really helps.
You're enjoying the pool.
At home it wasn't too comfortable though.
Good. Won't be long now, okay?
And she was like, hey, you've been here since morning. It's now 3 in the afternoon or 5 or something like that. It was 5. And she was like, you are not dilating. You've been at 5 centimeters for 2 hours. Do you want more pain relief? And I didn't want an epidural at all. I was avoiding it at all costs. So I was like, hey, give me something else. I can't remember the name of it. Hey, baby. She asked me if I wanted some pain relief. I can't remember the name of it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And my mum was like, no, Tamar, get the epidural because you haven't slept all night and you need some energy to push. I said, fine. I just succumbed. I was like, give me the epidural. But the contractions were getting much worse.
I don't think it was quite that. Fine, give me the epidural.
Yeah.
It was more like, give me the damn epidural now.
They were trying to put me on the wheelchair, but I was having a contraction at the time of the wheelchair. So they were trying to lift me up, and I was just like, stop touching me, because I'm having a contraction. They were like, you need to sit on the wheelchair, and I was like, wait until the contraction passed. And then they put me on the wheelchair and scream. They literally wheel me through the hospital, so people are watching me scream. They bring me up to the labour ward.
Then they take ages to get the epidural ready.
The anesthesiologist took an hour to give me an epidural.
Yeah.
A whole hour. Do you know how many contractions you can have in an hour? I was so
But he was obviously
mad.
following hospital procedure and trying to make sure everything was
All
okay.
I know is that he
But
was
it did
spraying.
take
He was
a
overly
long
spraying my back
time.
with this thing. I said to him, hurry up. I was literally shouting, hurry up. And then he was doing, I don't know, he was talking to someone, and I was like, give me the epidural now. And then I was like to Tommy, because Tommy was running around, and I said, what's taking so long? And then he was like, I need you to be still. He kept telling me to be still when he wasn't even doing anything at the time, because apparently something goes in my back and I need to be still at this point.
Yeah. So long story short, gave the epidural. And all of a sudden, it went from like Demons of Gadara to Angel Gabriel. She was like,
I was like, oh, hi everyone.
Brilliant. Are you nervous?
Not to push, to actually have it. Forever. Oh, it'll be amazing.
You will. It just
I'm
went
so
like
hungry.
to customer service in a moment. It was like
Actually.
extreme positive reviews I would have given you on eBay that day if you were my delivery. It was perfect. And so everything was right as rain, and it was weird because she no longer looked like she was in labor. So those epidurals must be doing some serious business.
It was so sweet, guys.
So when it was time for her to push, I've always been one of those that said that I'm never going to be at the business end of the pushing procedure because, again, my reflexes, even right now thinking about it, is kind of making me flustery. So I was going to stay at my wife's face. Her mum was a bit braver because she's had how many kids? 6 kids. So her mum's thinking, you know what, I'm going to sit at the business end and I'm going to watch. But her face told me everything and reassured me why I should not be down at the end. And for those of you husbands who are brave enough to do that, God bless you, you're wonderful people. But for me, I just wanted to stare into my wife's eyes and remember her as this beautiful human being.
Okay, so after I got this epidural, it was about 6 o'clock, and they were like to us, we're going to wait 2 hours to see, to check how much you've dilated. And I think by the time they brought me upstairs, I had dilated from 5 centimeters to 7 centimeters. This was before this guy administered the epidural, so you could tell how long he was taking. And the woman comes in, and they're checking Harvey, but he's not in the right position or something like that. And then another lady comes in and checks me to see how much I was dilated, but this was just before the time they were going to check me. They said, let's just check her early. And they're like, oh my gosh, she's 9.5. She can get ready to start pushing soon. And so I had stopped pressing that little button thingy way earlier than 8 o'clock, which is when they checked me. So I didn't press it anymore, so I could try and feel when to push, but I still couldn't feel anything. I couldn't feel contractions in my stomach, so my midwife was like, don't worry, I'll press your stomach and I'll tell you when to push. So it came time to push now. She was telling me when to push.
What we do, I tell you when you're having a contraction, or you tell me if you start to feel the pressure in your bum before I can feel it in your tummy. Take a nice big deep breath in. Push down into your bottom, chin your chest like you're trying to do a poo. And try and just push for as long as we can. And then when the contraction's gone, just breathe normally. We only push when we've got a contraction. Thank you.
And how long would you say it took? Maybe 20 minutes?
20 minutes, just pushing. And no pain in your face pushing. It was just like, just push. And
they were just like,
then she'll
push
go
as
back
hard
to talking
as you can.
again. How you doing, babe? And push again. She'll
Yeah,
okay.
waiting for another contraction.
So she just keep pushing. And then,
His
meanwhile,
his head was still in the wrong
his head was still in the wrong position. Tamar's mum was fully like changing colour.
And my temperature went up.
And her temperature went up, baby's temperature went down. So they used this plunger thing, which they kind of stuck on baby's head. And they just kind of suction cupped him out. And then all of a sudden,
cut his little head.
Then all of a sudden he came out.
It's a nice warm towel.
Because pixelates, oh man, that was too hard. What did we do? What was her? This was too hard.
Hey.
I just need to use quite a bright light, okay, so that we can see.
And I always expected I would cry. Because I'm a bit of a
Cry,
sap.
They were like, do you want us to wipe him before we put him on you? But they didn't wipe him too much. I was just like, just give me my baby. He didn't cry straight away. Then when he started crying, he wouldn't stop crying. For some reason, he just kept crying.
The best way I can describe it is very cute, but very biological. You know, there's like, it's messy. It's very messy, but very beautiful at the same time. So you're confused. Inside you want to cry, but then there's this other side of you that's like, yeah, can you wash him before you? I mean, just logistically, you
He was waxy.
Yeah, it was nasty.
You cut the umbilical cord.
I did.
I was somewhere else. I think I was just too engrossed in him because I didn't even watch him do that.
I cut the umbilical cord, which was quite cool. I didn't have any problem with that. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they gave it to him, and it was like the best experience ever.
He was doing this weird little
He was doing this weird little thing. Found out he was tongue-tied.
Yeah, that was sad.
They had to loose his tongue.
We had to snip it. But I mean, I was in the hospital like 4 days after I gave birth because they wanted to put me on antibiotics. And then they told us later that they wanted to put him on antibiotics. And because he's a baby, he can't take tablets, so he had to have an IV drip put in. And that was intense because we had to go up at midnight every night and at midday. Yeah, so I cried a bit because, like, who wants to see their baby have a little IV drip put in? I don't.
Latching issues with him latching onto his mum to feed.
Yeah, because of the tongue
which
tie.
made her cry even more. Hey guys, she's been in here too long. It's time to go home. This is what mum looks like. Goodness me. Look at the camera. Let Harvey see. Let the one see. Okay, mommy. Okay, bye.
By the time we were ready to leave, that's when they called the consultant.
Yeah.
Can't remember what her name was, but they called her to check his tongue tie, and she said, bearing in mind we were told he's a little bit tongue tied, she said, "Oh, that's quite a severe tongue tie. He's 95% tongue tied." We were like, they were gonna make us leave this hospital because they told us it's a little bit. Every day we were asking them what's happening with his tongue tie, what's happening with his tongue tie, and they're like, because he's only a little bit, he doesn't really need it snipped. He'll kind of learn to latch better as he grows up. And then we were told just before we were about to leave, he's 95% tongue tied.
Yeah.
So got that cut.
So fast forward to now, Harvey's born. Almost 3 months old. He's, well, I can't remember. I don't know how many pounds he is now.
I haven't had him weighed. So
but he loves laughing. He loves smiling at people. He's very observant.
He's very friendly.
Very friendly baby. Gets along with everybody. Yeah.
And he
Couldn't
is
be happier.
a beautiful mix of Jamaican and Nigerian.
Nigerian.
So he's got a Yoruba name in there somewhere. And
what are all his names?
I don't
Harvey, Jonah, Warren,
Oluwa Tomilayo, Warren,
Tomilayo, Aruola,
Arayami.
Arayomi. Hey, that's his full name.
Yeah, that's his full name, guys. So yeah, that is the story of Harvey Jonah and how God blessed us. Right to now, he will be 3 months old on Friday.
If you like Tamar India, please do like, subscribe, and remember to share it with your friends.
Even if you don't like me, please like
Even
and
if you
subscribe.
don't like her, please like it. Don't unlike this video. And please look back over her previous videos as well. She did a wonderful story of our wedding in our previous tag that you can check out. Like, subscribe, comment, and most of all, share it with your friends. Help Tamar India grow. Thank you.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.